Yes, the Bears won. They took care of business over the Philadelphia Eagles by the score of 24-15. What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? You beat the Super Bowl champions. What more can you do? What more can you do? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can go on in to Green Bay and beat them in Lambeau, and you beat Green Bay at home. Well, that's for another story, another week. You know, we got Cleveland on the way, Myles Garrett and his 18 sacks or whatever it is, trying to break the record. Hopefully he doesn't break it against us because he's a beast. But anyway, let's talk about this Bears victory over the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia on Black Friday. They get the job done, 24-15, as I said. You know, as I was talking with my son today as the game was going on, I was like, it just didn't feel like until, I would say, midway third quarter, kind of, it just didn't feel like the Bears were winning the game, even though they were. And when they were dominating the game, they were running the ball at will for a while there, as evidenced by Swift and Monangai going for over 125 yards more. I think Swift had 140, but they really dominated the ball there. Running the ball. Philadelphia couldn't do anything. They were helpless. Like Madden said, what does it feel like to be helpless? So, or I think a friend told me that in Madden when he would just run the ball down my throat, and I couldn't stop him with Terrell Davis in Madden a long time ago. But anyway, they felt help. Philadelphia had no answer for the Bears running game at times, and they weren't able to get anything going offensively until obviously when they had to kind of push the ball, and the Bears were kind of letting them just pass a little bit and run out the clock. But first half was they dominated the half, but yet it just didn't feel like they were actually winning by. Obviously they were only winning by one score, but still, it just didn't feel very comfortable until the third quarter on. But if it wasn't someone slipping like DJ Moore on a on a route, or Roma Dunze, running a just magnificent route, getting open. He put a move on. I forgot who it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't their number one pick from a couple of years ago, or maybe 2 years ago. But he put a move on that guy. He was wide open, and unfortunately, the ball just didn't. I thought he could have dove for the ball instead of he wanted a touchdown, so he sat down in the end zone. He should have came up a little bit more and got the ball. But anyway, all that being said, the Eagles, as I have my notes here, they had a chance. Try to put something together. I don't know. The Bears, this defense has to be taken seriously. Even without all the linebackers, this defense has to be taken seriously. I know Philly has been struggling offensively, but they still have some really talented receivers, such as A.J. Brown, by evidence of his performance today. Devontae Smith is great. But I'm surprised they didn't target Dallas Goedert all that much, which was a little surprising. Saquon Barkley couldn't get much going. I think he had 50 yards or whatever. But let me check it. Yeah, he had. So anyway, the way it worked out, and Caleb Williams rather was he had the touchdown when it counted. A really bad quarterback rating, 56.9. I don't think he had a bad game, but it wasn't, on a day where the wind kind of played a little bit of a factor, and then obviously Jalen Hurts got his stats in at the end where, the Bears are just kind of letting them complete anything in front of them to try to run out the clock. But, I don't know. I don't think Caleb looked bad overall, but in that second half, it started off kind of ominous where, Burden kind of slipped down on the route again. I'm like, man, what is going on with this field? But, they just weren't moving the ball at all. And then, Philly comes back with that touchdown to A.J. Brown after the interception by Byard. That late hit on Hurts. I'm like, why did that guy do that? I can't remember who did that. It didn't make any sense at all. But, and then Caleb tried to float a ball that got intercepted. But then what turned it around was that fumble from Nahshon Wright. He got the fumble out of the tush push. They tried it. Nahshon Wright wasn't having it. He got in and got the ball. Maybe, is that the formula to stop the tush push? I don't know. But it really felt like the Bears weren't winning the game until that time. It just felt like they were at a standstill. But even though they were winning, but once Monangai had that TD to take the lead 17-9, the Bears just kind of kept running the ball. And I knew it was over when the fans started leaving the field. I think it was like, it had to be like 10 minutes left in the game. The fans, it was really quiet. The fans, Philly fans who were normally raucous, or that's the word, maybe I mispronounced, I don't know. They're really very loud. And then they were just really quiet that fourth quarter. It's like they just knew that, hey, our team isn't coming back. We're done. A lot of boos all throughout the game. The offensive coordinator is probably fired at this point for Philly, but and then obviously when Kmet scored his touchdown, that was it. That was it. So they frustrated the Eagles all game. The Eagles' top lineman Johnson was out, but I think his name Lane, yeah. So anyway, he was out, but still, I mean, you still expect to perform. Next guy up, Bears just dominated the game. I don't care what the score says. It was probably, in reality, 24-6 or something like that. But anyway, the Bears get the victory. We're all happy here. I heard Ben Johnson. He took off his shirt in the game. I don't know who got the game ball. Probably Monangai and Swift both got game balls. Nahshon Wright had an honorable mention. But Philly, I don't know. They just they're gonna be even though AJ Brown had a good game, but still, hey, what are you gonna say? They beat the world champions in their home stadium. And a lot of people are saying the Bears, they're the worst 8-3 team. Well, I'm like, what do you expect them to be, 11-0 at this point? So now you're 9-3, leading the division. You gotta be able to, and now Green Bay, you head to Green Bay next week. That is going to be a big showdown we all got to be looking for. You head to Green Bay next week. If you can beat the Packers in Lambeau, I'm telling you, this team is going to the playoffs. I think they're going to the playoffs right now. Based on their schedule, they should be able to beat Cleveland, even though Cleveland has a good defense. You might beat San Francisco and San Francisco. You should have a good chance to beat Detroit. So get 2 more wins, you're going to the playoffs for sure. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this team. They're really playing with a lot of swagger, might I say, right now. So let's see what happens. You got to go to Green Bay. They're not very impressive offensively. I think even though they had a decent game on Sunday, but still. The other day, yesterday against Detroit. They had a good game, but still. I mean, you gotta. I believe in the Bears. I really do, and I hope you do too. So we'll see what happens. So once again, thanks for watching. Hey, it's gonna be a wild ride, but we'll see what happens. All right, take care.